So the era that I would like to be in the most would be the 80s because of the music and the fashion styles kind of funky.
Well, I mostly identify with more of the 80s style, just because I love the music of that era, mostly the classic rock, because I grew up listening to classic rock. Like, that's all my dad played in the car when we were on. Just any time we were in the car. And it's just, personally, I just really love the music, and in my opinion, it's a lot better than today's music.
Mostly the 90s, because I like the music that came out around then. And I just think that the way they made the music was really good. So, mostly the music.
I like the 20s as well because of the jazz and like the music and the fashion styles.
I identify with the 80s. Most of my favorite movies came from there, and some really good songs that my dad still listens to, some songs that I enjoy.
Things in the 80s, they were a lot more lenient on certain things, and it seems like it would have been a better time to actually live in the 80s.
Yes, I went to the 80s dance.
I did not have time to, but I did want to.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I did go to the 80s dance.
No, but I heard that they only played like 5 80s songs, which absolutely sucks.
Yeah, I was really disappointed when I heard about that.
Disappointed. A little bit fished.
I did go to the the 80s dance, and personally I was really hoping for it to be more 80s themed. Like, the decorations were 80s, that was all fitting enough. It felt a little more cramped just because of their different layout in the gym that we went into, and we didn't have the outside, which was kind of a bummer, at least in my opinion.
I did attend it. I wouldn't really call it much of an 80s dance, looking back at it. They played like 5 1/4 80s songs. It's like not even 30 seconds into one of the songs, they just changed it.
I think the atmosphere could have been a little bit better. Like, I guess it was a little bit too dark. It just felt too, not quite grunge, but it was just too cramped. It was too much of a rave feel, like I said, for an 80s dance.
Well, I heard they did play 580 songs, but I know they played a lot more songs than that, and the theme is the 80s, and I find it ridiculous that they put modern songs from the 21st century in an 80s theme dance. It's not what the theme was.
I really wish that the music was more 80s themed. That was probably the biggest downfall in my opinion, because I like 80s music, and that's one of the things I just had hopes for with the dance, but it was the same music that they had played for the last several. So, all in all, it was very mediocre in my opinion.
I feel like they should have played like mostly 80s songs with like a few of some of the songs that we listen to in our generation, but I feel like a majority of the playlist should have been 80s music. So that's what I gotta say.
Well, considering it was called the 80s I Heart whatever dance, I think it should have at least had all or at least mostly 80 songs.
I would say 75% of the songs, in my opinion, should have been 80s themed. Or 80s songs, which, since it's an 80s theme, it should be 100%, but 75% I think is the minimum it should have been.
At least 70% of the songs they played there should have been 80s themed. I mean, yeah, sure, you gotta appeal to the majority crowd, and I'm sure a lot of kids love that kind of music. Personally, for me, though, I didn't like it. 70% of it should have been that, though.
I don't know about other people. Well, I do know a few people agree with me. It wasn't really an 80s dance. It was really lackluster in that regard. Like, I heard that it was going to be mostly 80s songs. And you just can't really call something an 80s dance when you only have 5 songs from the 80s. It's just like, why?
After hearing all of that, I decided to talk to one of the leadership students. And as it turns out, this was one of the students that was originally selected to choose the music for the I Heart the 80s dance.
For the 80s dance, it was supposed to be a select group of people putting together a playlist, and it kind of got hijacked, and some people kind of took over, and the playlist got changed to where there was only 5 80s songs, and the rest of it was just kind of newer songs, or, in my opinion, kind of bad rap.
And then, of course, after the dance, they play a really good rock song. They play, I think it was Back in Black they played, or Hell's Bells, whichever one.
The original intention for me and the select group of people was to make it mostly 80s music. Of course, maybe have, like, a little bit of, like, newer stuff in there, but the majority of it was supposed to be 80s.
But yeah, it's just like, they advertised it as an 80s dance, but it just, to me, was really lacking.
It really kind of made me angry when an outside source came in and kind of just took what we had and threw it away. And it kind of made me angry that they thought that they had more authority and felt like their needs need to be met more than what majority of the people in the group before already had made.
I feel like it should be most, if not all, 80s music, because if they advertise it as an 80s dance, it's like, they gotta pay, if they're gonna pay tribute to the actual time, they gotta do it well. They can't just half-ass it. And you can kind of see that it just was lacking a lot.
When the original group of people created the playlist, they already had it, like, mostly done. Me and a couple people were trying to, like, put together, like, a really awesome playlist, but another person felt that their need for a certain genre of music was more important, and that one person that felt that the playlist didn't meet to her standards, and then her changing it to something completely different, that kind of, like, made me angry, because me and my group of friends were really trying to make that playlist what we thought, and what we thought most of the school would enjoy as well, without breaking the theme and stuff. And it just kind of, like, made me upset when that one person decided to just kind of come in and take over what we just already finished.
Well, in the future, I think leadership should, if they decide to do any kind of dance that pays tribute to any era or just a certain topic, they should try and stick to music around that topic, not, like, deviate off to other things. Like the music that they did play, most of it's pretty decent music. It's just they always play those songs, and they need to do some more different stuff. They need to be a little bit more diverse, because each dance that I've gone to, it just feels like it's the same thing over and over.